Every second breath that you take comes from the oceans, covering around 71% of the Earth's surface. The oceans are vital to life on Earth. Phytoplankton, the tiny plant like organisms that live in the sea, are responsible for at least 50% of the oxygen on Earth. Just like land based plants, they contain chlorophyll to capture sunlight and use photosynthesis to convert it into energy they need, producing oxygen as a byproduct. They also consume carbon dioxide, transferring about 10 gigatons of carbon from the atmosphere deep into oceans each year. The oceans are responsible for regulating global climate, temperature, and weather patterns. They have the power to affect rainfall, flooding, and droughts. The oceans absorb massive amount of heat from the sun. More than 90% of the warming that has happened on Earth over the past 50 years has occurred in the oceans. Heat is most intense nearer to the equator, and the water nearest the surface warming the most. That heat then is transported by sea currents around the world, north and south, towards the poles. Fish is on the menu for billions of people around the world. It accounts for almost 16% of all animal protein consumed globally. There's more to seafood than fish, crustacea, and other edible creatures. A range of algae and sea plants are also commonly used in cooking. The oceans are not just a source of food, but are also home to an abundance of life. While estimates on the number of species that live in the sea exist, no one knows with absolute certainty what that number is. Over 90% of the oceans lie undiscovered. The number of yet to be discovered creatures living in the sea could easily run into the millions. Ocean-based industries employ millions of people worldwide, especially in the fisheries and tourism industry. The economic health of maritime industries is fundamentally linked to the overall health of the oceans, of course. The ocean economy is of particular importance in developing countries, which are home to most of the 3 billion people who rely on the sea for their livelihoods. The oceans provide convenient transport routes. Around 90% of all trade between countries is carried by ships, which transport everything from food to fuel to construction materials, chemicals, and household items.